Okay, in this video we're going to be talking about high-paying jobs, high-paying careers without a college degree. So this is what to do if you want to make a lot of money and you do not have a college degree or you are not planning to get one. Let's dive right into this video. Okay, so the first big idea that I just want to point out before we get to the more important things is this is not a video where I am debating whether you should or should not drop out of college, whether you should or should not get a college degree. This is me making a video from my own experience having dropped out of college as a 19-year-old and looking at many of the people that have become successful in this world and using some principles that you can know to start to make more money if you don't have a college degree. So I was able to utilize these principles to build a multi-million-dollar business by the time I was 28 years old, and you can use them as well. Okay, so here's number two, and it's really point number one, which is that you actually don't need a degree for making a lot of money. You do need a degree in a lot of cases. You do need a college degree in a lot of cases for high-paying jobs, meaning you're supposed to meet certain qualifications to get a role at somebody else's company. But the most successful, the richest people in the world generally don't have jobs. Generally, they're the ones that have the idea and they're the ones that have a businesses. You do not need a college degree for a profitable business or an extremely well-paying career. You only need it for a job. Now, this is the first lesson in financial education that we are not taught in school. And the reason that this is so important is because it's showing you the differentiation between getting a fixed income job that may be stable, but now we know a lot of these jobs that we thought were stable really aren't stable now that we're seeing right now with the sell-off in the economy and the shutdown of so many jobs. So there's a distinct difference between having a job with a fixed salary and having a business, being an entrepreneur, owning a business system or owning an idea that is able to scale and increase its profits every single year. Because if you do that, then you're never at a fixed income level. So the benefits of this are actually if you don't have a degree. A lot of times when you get a degree, what happens is you get the degree and then your mindset is immediately, I need to get a job. Now, that has a lot of benefits, but one of the downfalls of that is the jobs rarely increase in income. So by the time you're in your 30s, you're probably stagnating your income for the rest of your life, hoping you can keep that until you're 65 and your 401k will make you enough money where you'll be able to retire. Now, the people that become financially independent quicker, they're on the fast lane. There's actually a book by MJ DeMarco that's fantastic. It's called Millionaire Fastlane, Fastlane Millionaire. And he talks about how if you're going to become rich in a quicker period of time, you actually can't do it with a job. There's nothing wrong with a job, but if you want to do it quickly, you need something that has the potential to drastically increase your income ceiling. Because remember, if you're stuck at $50,000 every single year with a 2% pay bump bonus, there isn't a opportunity to have your income growth be non-linear. Linear meaning it goes from A to B to C to D. Now, there's no real growth in that. What you're hoping for that is 40 years of a productive economy and 40 years of a productive work life. And hopefully, if everything goes according to plan and all the boxes get checked, then you will have financial freedom later and you'll have all these things that you're promised. But here's the problem with that. The people that really create wealth don't do that. And if they do, MJ DeMarco calls them people that have wealth in a wheelchair. Now the question is, do you want to have financial independence in a reasonable period of time? And if you do, regardless of whether you have a degree or not, the answer is you need to be involved in something that has scale to the income. It doesn't even need to be you that thinks of the business. You just need to be involved in the profit sharing, in sales aspect, in something that gives you an opportunity to increase your income greater than directly trading your time for money. Now, if you don't have a college degree, this gives you a fantastic opportunity, quite frankly, because at a lot of normal jobs, you are not going to be able to get them because you don't qualify because you don't have a degree. But the good news is that's going to force you to actually get on the fast track of the things that have a higher yield in the potential for you to make more money, regardless of whether or not you have a degree or not. So the third thing that I want to say is don't fall victim to the idea that your intelligence is less because you don't have a degree. Therefore, your financial intelligence is less, or your ability to make money in the markets, or your ability to build a successful business, or to have a skill that's valuable to the marketplace. Do not believe for an instant that that means that you have less intelligence and capability because you don't have a degree. Now, I am not saying in this video you shouldn't get one. I don't have one, and it's up to each individual person. But we can agree that college tuition is moving up incredibly high, and it's getting harder and harder to justify the price of it. And then you look at what's happening with Wall Street backing these loans, and then Obama made them largely in a lot of ways unforgivable, and it's the one thing that you can't get out of when you declare for bankruptcy. So the banks and the colleges are definitely in on a conspiracy to get as many people to sign up for long-term unforgivable loan payments as possible, right? And so my point is that there is a myth that is propagated by institutions that if you don't get a degree with them, you're less intelligent. And that's propaganda that's been designed to get people to sign long-term debt contracts that they can't get out of. Because the best thing on a business's balance sheet, a bank's balance sheet, an institution's balance sheet is a long-term, high-interest monthly payment that you cannot get out of even if you're in bankruptcy. So my point is, you need to realize that your self-image is not determined by your degree or lack thereof, or the grades that you got in school or not. It has to do with if you can develop the proper mindset, which is what we're talking about, to actually start to increase the yields of how much money you can make in the marketplace and with your career and with your ideas. So the fourth thing to know is degrees do not make you money, high income skills make you money. Even if you have a great degree and therefore it gets you an opportunity to get a great job, if you don't have great skills that develop, within a few years you will lose that job. At the end of the day, what makes you money is high income skills. They're skills that are valuable to the company you work for, or to the marketplace, or to the consumers, whatever it might be, whether it's sales skills you have, or marketing skills that you develop, or you have a good idea, or you have a good way with customer service. It could be anything. But the point is that the skills, the high income skills, are the things that make you money. Now, you don't need a degree to develop high income skills. What you need is the financial education, is the mental wherewithal to recognize where money comes from. Money comes from ideas, money comes from productivity, and money comes from people making things that other people want, or making things that improve other people's lives. So then the question is, how can I improve other people's lives? Or how can I improve certain products? How can I improve upon something that other people want? This could be anything, but the point is now all of a sudden, instead of can I get a job, which is the wrong question to ask, the right question is what skills can I develop that can make me a lot of money and serve a company or consumers? So whether it's a sales skill, whether it's a coding skill, whether it's a management skill, whether it's accounting, whether it's bookkeeping, whether it's digital marketing, whether it's advertising, whether it's that you're learning recipes that you're going to sell and serve the consumer that wants healthy recipes, whether you can help businesses go online, there's an infinite amount of skills. And to the degree that you develop a skill, that offers value to the marketplace, to other businesses or to consumers, to the degree you are good at offering that skill, is to the degree that you will ultimately make money. irrespective of whether you have a degree or not. So then the question to ask should really not be, do you have a degree and where is it from? The question is, what are your income producing skills? And if the answer is, I don't have any income producing skills or I don't know what they are, then the next question is, well, why aren't you going out there and deciding to learn certain high income or income producing productive skills? So then the question is, what are some of them? Well, I just named a couple of them and they're going to be different for every person, but that should be the first step of research to do. And then it's about developing that skill, and ultimately you will be able to command a fee for it. So number 5 is that you need to be able to just not worry about failing. So if you are afraid of failing, you'll never develop a skill, because any skill that anybody develops, they once weren't any good at it. Any skill anybody develops proficiency at it, there was a point at which they weren't good at it. But what happens is that we get programmed in our society through institutions and our formal education to convince us that failing is bad. We see an F on our test and, oh my gosh, I failed it, right? So we're afraid of failing in the real life. So we decide, oh, I'm going to learn coding and like that's what I'll do. But then we don't get the hang of it as fast as we want and 2 months later we quit. Or we decide we're going to learn sales and we're going to go sell and we're going to get good at sales because that sounds like a fantastic thing to do. Heck, it's a thing you can even do at your house while everything's quarantined. It's a more recession-proof business. So you do your first 100 sales calls and they don't go well. So yeah, I'm not any good at this. I don't have the personality for it. See, you need to understand there's something called neuroplasticity in your brain, and that's your brain's ability to unlearn and relearn anything. So there's a quote that says that the educated people of the future will not be the people that have learned things. They'll be the people that have learned how to unlearn things. We have to be able to unlearn the idea of failure and recognize that, yeah, you're starting something new and you may not have the skill at the sales, at the coding, at the management, at the house cleaning, at the accounting, at the book cleaning, at the guitar lessons, at the digital marketing. You may not have the skill yet, but that's not what's important. Because here's the second part of this phase. Once you pick what it is, go find someone that can teach you it. Get a mentorship opportunity. Everything that I've created in my life, starting with being 19 years old and I dropped out of college and I decided I was going to write my first book, which I self-published, and then that sold 20,000 copies and got me a book contract with Penguin Random House at 21 or 22 years old. All those things progressively to developing a online business and a successful YouTube channel and a website that gets millions of views every single year. Everything that I did wasn't because I innately knew how to do it. It was because I found people that would teach me it. I went to the people that were successful at what I wanted to do and I developed relationships with them. Build an internship, but not an internship where you go, yeah, I'll staple papers for you. No, don't do that. Do something, a mentorship, an internship at what you want to do. Go work for the most successful real estate agent or the most successful real estate broker in your community. Go find the top digital marketing company in your zip code and work there. Learn the thing that you want to go find a biotech company, a coding company, whatever it is you're interested in. Go find those things and get around that type of business. Get around those people that have those types of skills. And then you're going to start adapting to the in and out. Just like the way that you learn how to swim isn't by reading books on how to swim. The way that you learn how to swim is to get in the water and actually swim with someone that already knows how to swim. Number 6, once you've started to develop a skill, then the next thing is to either create a business or be involved in a business. But here's the important thing. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Rockefeller family at all, but John D. Rockefeller had a quote that's very important. And he said that the one thing for any young people that want to get rich to learn is leverage. So here's the important thing. A lot of people go into business for themselves. Maybe their skill is they're really good at massage and they're working at Massage Envy, but they're only getting $18 an hour, and they realize they have a really limited income ceiling. So they say, oh, I listened to Jake's video, I'm gonna start my own business. So they start their own massage business. Now they're charging $50 an hour, but eventually they get so full, they run out of time. They're also doing all the accounting. They're also doing all the marketing. So all of a sudden they hit this stagnation level where their income won't go up anymore. Yes, it's higher than their job at Massage Envy, but they have double or triple the workload, and there's only 24 hours in a day, and there's only so much money they could increase the price of their massage for before they start losing clients. Now, this is the mistake a lot of people make, and this is the essence of the financial education necessary to institute leverage. In that, what has to occur is you have to institute a systematic business or leverage to what you're doing. You can do this with any business, but here's the thing. So let's say, for instance, this person needed to learn another high income skill in order to continue to grow their massage business. So they learn digital marketing in zip codes through Facebook and Google and stuff like that. So they learn that. They field clients to a lead page for massage for this super specific certain neck and back release technique that everybody needs because everyone's sitting at the computers in office, and they have the super specific way, right? Then they find another masseuse that is sick of working at Massage Envy or another company like that, and they say, look, I can double the amount of work you're getting, and I have this super specific formula to do it, right? So they bring this new masseuse on, they train them, and they start giving them gigs. The owner starts focusing more on the marketing aspect and the higher paying customers. All of a sudden, what happens is you're serving more people. So the amount of money you make is contingent first upon the service you provide and the amount of people that you provide it to, which is the second aspect of it. And this is why scaling and leverage are important, because any business can be designed without scale and leverage, but the same business can be reworked through leverage using other people that work for you, softwares, systems, physical or digital products. If you reshape the model at which you're offering your service, what happens is you can drastically increase your income ceiling and create more scalability. This is the Henry Ford model. There's an ancient story that supposedly Henry Ford sued, I think it was the Chicago Times, because they called him an ignoramus in their paper. So he sued them. So then their attorney went about proving to the courts that Henry Ford was in fact an ignorant man. So they asked him all these questions, and they said, well, how many people went to the War of 1812? And he said, I can tell you a lot less people came back than when originally went out. And they said, see, he's ignorant. And they kept asking all these questions, and he finally said, why would I ever fill my mind with such useless general information when I could press one of these buttons on my desk and get any one of the top % of people in the world at their respective fields to give me the answer without me needing to fill my head with it? And I'm paraphrasing it there. But that's the Henry Ford business model of scalability. He wasn't the expert at everything. He set up a system of leverage that allowed his product to be delivered to more and more and more people while leveraging systems, now today's softwares, and other individuals to help implement that service in a greater scale. This is what you need to do to get rich, and that doesn't matter whether or not you have a degree. Next, you need to commit to your own education. Education based off of the certain skills or businesses you're developing should be self-directed. You shouldn't need someone else to tell you what to study for you to get smarter and better at your respective field. So my invitation is to practice what all major successful CEOs are doing, which is on average they're reading about 52 books a year. There's 52 weeks in a year, so that means 1 book a week. We're not talking about random books that have nothing to do with anything. We're talking about specific books that will help your value go from there to there, from here to here, that will help your skill level go from here to here, that will help your awareness go from here to here, that will help your ability to serve your customers, your consumers, your businesses you work for, the people you are working for. It will help it go from here to here. So pick 1 book a week that is a business book, a money book, a finance book, a sales book, whatever your skill set is. Pick 1 of them a week. Jim Rohn said it best. He said, if you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you'll make a fortune. Number 8 is to focus on high income tasks. Now, this is important to differentiate between busy work and high income tasks. So what happens is we're conditioned all our life to be busy and get stuff done. But what happens when you actually go to create your own financial destiny on your own, often people get bogged down on being busy and productive, but they really aren't being productive at all. The way to tell whether you're productive is the thing you're doing creating income or not. Is it creating revenue or not? And if the answer is no, then you're not being productive. And so what's important is to, when you're building your to-do list and you're scheduling your day and you're allotting the time on what you're going to work on, it's important to divide these things into 2 things. Is this a high income tasks? So HTA, high income activity, or an HTT, a high income, or rather an HIT, a high income task. Or is this busy work? And you can just put a BW for busy work, or you can abbreviate that this is a high income task, or this is busy work. And what happens is when you start saying no to all the busy work, what you find out is a lot of the work that you were doing and a lot of the time that was being consumed was simply busy work that wasn't creating more income. My life really changed when I realized this, and instead of just making a list of what to do in the day, I started making a list of only income increasing activities. And I only focused on high income tasks, on income increasing activities. And what happened was my income took off like a rocket ship over the next 12 months. And it wasn't until then that I realized the 80-20 rule is real. That quite literally 80-90% of the money you are making is probably coming from about 10% of the task, 15% of the task. But in our society, we aren't taught how to be smart workers. We're only taught how to be busy and quote unquote hard workers. Now the problem with this is it's a paradigm shift, because if the goal of what you're doing is to provide more value, the only measuring stick to know whether you are providing more value is based off of your own financial statement that shows whether your income is going up or your income is going down, whether your sales are going up or whether your sales are going down. The only way to increase those figures and to provide more value to the business you work for, the consumers you're serving, is to only do high income tasks. So instead of simply making a to-do list, start making an income increasing list and make that your to-do list. Now this last one is 2 parts. First of all, it's important to realize if you want to make a lot of money with or without a college degree, you need to understand that money comes from value that you provide to other customers, individuals, or businesses, to the marketplace. Now, if you understand that, then the next aspect of this is the most important. It's black and white. It's a yes or no. And so what happens a lot of times is people get stuck in the gray area, and the gray area is, yeah, but I don't have the resources. Yeah, but I didn't go to the right school. Yeah, but I don't have a college degree. Yeah, but I don't have the this. Yeah, but I don't have the that. And when you do that, you're stuck in a black and white, and you're not taking total personal responsibility for your financial situation. And if you don't take total personal responsibility for your financial situation, you can never create financial success. You can't do it. Because if you don't take total 100% personal responsibility for the value that you add, the skills you're developing, then what happens is you come up with gray area reasons why you don't have it. I don't have the resources, don't have the degree, I don't have the this. Now, so the only way to get there is to be black and white with yourself. Did I get better in the last 30 days at my income producing skills? Did I get better at sales? Did I get better at coding? Did I get better at management? Did I get better at bookkeeping? Did I learn something new about accounting? Have I gotten better at my studies or inventions? Have I gotten better? Have I learned new things about digital marketing or YouTube or social media? Have I done whatever it is, right? And it's a yes or no question. It's not a I would have, but. Because if you're doing that, then you aren't understanding the causal effect of your financial success. There is only one causal effect. There is only one cause of financial success or failure. And it's an ability or inability to add value to the marketplace, to the business you work for, to the customers you are serving, And it's a yes or no. And to the degree that you have a good ability of adding value to the marketplace, to other businesses, customers, consumers, or individuals, or society, to the degree that you provide utility, is the degree that you will ultimately receive money, because money is reward for service rendered. This does not matter whether or not you have a degree. There may be certain avenues that are cut off for you, but there are other ones that will be open. Look at all the most successful people in the world, and you will find the reason they got that is because they provided utility to society. Now, you may argue that some of the things people got rich up from are not that useful. But that's not up for you and I to decide. It's up for the marketplace to decide. And if we get out of our subjective interpretation and we objectively say yes or no, am I providing more utility to society, to customers, prospects, businesses I work for, yes or no? And if the answer is no, then that's great. We know where we need to redirect our focus. Maybe we need to watch this video again and take some self-inventory. And when we have that type of self-reflection, we can constantly course correct and allow ourselves to get the ultimate results that we want. So this is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com, and you're watching the I Love Prosperity channel. So this channel is dedicated to helping you ensure financial independence in a changing world. Right now, this world's drastically changing economically, and I wanted to make this video to hopefully help as many people as I could. So whether or not you have a degree, I hope this video is useful. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of it. It helps the YouTube algorithm out. So if this video provides utility and usefulness to you, please be sure to hit the like button on this video and leave a comment down below to let me know that, because that will help this video reach more people. So thank you for being a part of this community. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the bell notification, and yeah, leave a comment down below if you found this video useful. I'd love to hear from you.